castle, their roles are assigned, their fates in the game, forever entwined. Under cover of night, the traitors will slay. Can a faithful fight back, or be the next play? Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. From the meek to the fierce, pawns to dictators, bound by the strings of the silent orchestrators. Every move, every breath, a twisted decree, a game of betrayal. No one's truly free. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Who can you trust when the darkness descends? The blade in the back, the whispers of friends. The court is a theater, the blood-stained stage, a dance of deception, a war in a cage. Till death do us part, in shadows they hide. Murder and treachery, secrets and lies. They'll all stop at nothing for the ultimate prize. All are mere puppets in the world of the traitors. Come friend, come foe, come one, come all, to the highlands to see who lives and who falls. Jokers and fools, queens and kings, all are mere puppets on invisible strings.
Oh, Kristen, I love you. And he is still there. I was wrong. Hello, everybody. I don't know where my co-host is, but I hope you all enjoyed this week's. Oh, there she is.
Accident on mute already. It's been a minute since I've done that.
I love it though when you do that.
I was talking too, right along with you. Laughing at Tom. Yes, he is still there. And at the very end of this, Sunshinery has the little game thing. And one of the answers is really funny about Tom. Really
Oh,
funny.
yes.
I don't understand it. I might need Jackie to break it down for me, but it's really funny.
I understand though your point, like you said last week, like to keep him around, it's entertainment for us, because even his faces this week throughout the whole episode and him doing the singing just was entertainment for me. As much as I hate the man with a passion, it's
Right.
entertainment. It's entertainment.
And the whole thing, and we're going to get there, like right at the beginning of this as we talk, so we'll just bring it up now. But the look on his face when he's standing, when Alan is the one standing in front of him, like he is so completely starstruck. But this fool lives in LA and sees those people all the time.
Exactly.
I don't really get, like, is it fake? Is he trying to act for the
He's trying to act.
cameras?
he overly acts. He's always done that with Vanderpump, and it's clear he's overly acting with
Because why would
Traitors.
you be starstruck by Alan when you live in a place where some of the top stars have been, starstruck by you because you're on a stupid reality show that everybody's obsessed with?
Right? Exactly. And
Very
they've gone to
strange.
Sir, where he used to work, and he's
Right.
met stars before because of him being on a TV show with Lisa Vanderpump, of all people.
Exactly, and you would see like some of these like A-list stars go on to Watch What Happens Live and gush over Tom. Like Tom was the A-lister and they were the reality star.
I
Like just
know.
strange. So this whole starstruck with Alan was weird.
Yeah. And
Oh my
him, no,
God,
we'll get into it.
Brittany.
We'll get into it. Oh,
Yes, we will get
God.
all into it. All right, let me get my notes going and
But I was wrong. I will admit. I can admit when I'm wrong. His and I said that last week. His overacting, he was either overly acting or he was the one that got murdered. I was clearly wrong that he wasn't the one that got murdered. It was just him overly acting.
yeah. Yeah, and I just couldn't figure out what had him overacting like that or overreacting like that when and to find out that it was Alan and that caused that look on his face.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically we just had the beginning. They really just started at breakfast. They reminded us of
Yes.
everybody last week and where they ended with the looks on all the people in the church's faces and Tom's. I was calling it his big O face.
Yes. And then we got, like you said, right into breakfast. And the first two people in the door were, of course, Danielle and Brittany. And they were excited that they were the first in the door, but they also wanted to figure out who might have the traitors killed.
Right. Did you notice how much Danielle's leg was shaking?
Yes.
Like her entire body was moving like she was having convulsions or something. And it was, I guess her leg was just like in such over gear. Like, I don't know if that's from nerves,
Mhm.
excitement,
You're
but
not the
she
only
was
one
like,
that notices that, though.
right, because then at the end of the day, she's doing the same thing.
Yes.
Yes, I just like that was just, I couldn't get over like just her and Brittany in there and how much her leg was moving. Like, ugh.
See, this will be good for me when I go back to her Big Brother episodes and get to see her playing the Big Brother game. Now I'll notice if she's shaking like that in Big Brother.
I
Because I
need to
think
go
maybe
back
it's
and
a
rewatch
nervous tick,
that season too. But like,
right?
well, her first season was hey PMR, her first season was like season. Hey crew was season 3 of Big Brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it was season 3 of Big Brother was her first season, and then she just came back for the second All Stars was her second season.
Okay.
But her
I'm going to
first
probably
season
start
is
from
the
the
one that she
beginning.
did really well in, and the reason they changed some big rules up in the game was from
Yes, you
that
did
season.
say that.
Yeah. So, and I don't recall her ever being nervous and shaking like that on Big Brother. So yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
I can't
Maybe
wait
I
to go
missed
back and see.
it. Yeah. So then, let's see. Oh yeah, Brittany and her were laughing, and this is true too because Brittany was laughing like, how good of a player was Rob really if he thought I was such a gamer, which is so true because Brittany is of the top Big Brother names. She's up there, but she's not up there as a gamer. She's up there because of her humor and because she's not a gamer and let the gamers crap on her because she's such a non-gamer. She had no realization. She just believed them and, gets to the end and they, get rid of her right before the end. And she lets it
Yeah.
happen because she's not a gamer.
I love that
So,
Danielle was kind of giddy. She's like, I'm feeling giddy today. Like she was happy that Rob left the game, but she also was kind of scared in the same sense because that was the first night that they had to murder somebody in person, and that took a lot out of her, she said.
yes, that's strange.
So you're giddy.
And I'm like,
Giddy.
I was trying to, because it just didn't seem like that the leg shake seemed too strong for giddiness, but I don't know. I'm not
Yeah, I
fighting.
agree.
It felt so odd. And it almost seemed like it was real, or why would she just be doing it in front of Brittany? Or maybe it was just her setup. Just I don't even know. I don't know. Okay, so then next in we've got Sam, Sierra, and Ivor.
Ooh, yes.
Um, I liked Sierra's comment about how rude it was that Rob put her into the coffin in her brand new YSL boots.
Yes, me too. She's like, he put me in the coffin, and on top of it, with in my new YSL boots. And I'm like, I love you.
What shoes would you have worn for the coffin, though? Hey, sweets. I mean, that seems like pretty good, classy shoes for a coffin, but
My thing
maybe.
was, why wasn't she more upset? Like their mission that they just had, the chapel and the getting married. He was really there for Sierra, and I would feel more hurt that he kind of played her at the end.
Yeah, and I think we do start to see that as the show goes a little bit more, like especially in the round table more so.
Yes.
But or more anger, I don't know, but yeah, you would have thought she would have been the next morning, she would have been feeling a little bit more pissed off at how he played her.
Yeah, I love though she was like, that Rob had some big dickish energy when
Yes,
he outed another traitor coming right in.
yes, the BDE. He did. He sold out his own trader just to gain trust, he says.
Yeah.
um, Sam then talks about how the traders are not as smart as they want all the others to think they are. He also
Yes.
feels like he's getting really good at the game because of he feels that he's got, and I guess this makes sense that he feels like he's got a strength in listening because he had to come over here from Iran and learn a whole new language.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
know how old he was when he came here, though.
Neither do I. I don't agree with him having any kind of sense of what's going on in the game because he's a good listener, but I will agree with him where he says actions speak louder than words because that is so true in many ways and forms, not just this game.
Okay. Yeah, and see, because I don't really know him or know much of him or anything, it just, on a general level would make sense that if somebody comes over here, that's not like a really, really super young child where, a second language is as easy to pick up as changing your clothes is,
Yeah, I don't
then
know
you
how
would have
old
to
he
be
is.
an
Look,
extra good listener.
I'll
What?
look.
I was just a shitty
Sam.
listener.
I've always
That's
been a
why I
shitty
only know
listener.
English. But yeah, I only know one language, so screw you. um, Then they talk about how they think that Tom was the one that could have been murdered.
Yes.
And then next in is Gabby all by herself.
Which I thought that was weird that I get why they did it, but I just didn't like the single one by one by one. But it's going to get that way the more we go on with the game.
Right, right. It was a strange. It was strange at first, but exactly, it's going to get more and more like that as they get up to the finale.
Yeah.
Um, So then she's talking about they ask her, about it, and she's just talking about how beautifully decorated it is. And if you see Alan, you're gonna be safe. If you see the traitors, you're gone. Then Gabby starts talking about how nervous she is for Chriselle. Um,
Real quick, Sam came over here when he was 12 years old.
oh, 12. Okay, thank you. Hey, sweets. 12
No
years old.
problem.
So yeah, I guess you still have the advantage of being young and picking up a language, but still to come over and not know anybody, go to a whole new school, um, and not know the language. Hopefully, he didn't have that little curl on his forehead because yeah, that would be really difficult. Hopefully, at 12, he was not wearing the curl on his forehead. God, that thing is so ugly. I just want to snatch it. I hate it. It reminds me of a
Yes.
used car salesman.
Well, when he has the headband on, you can't really notice it, but without the headband, that curl is very predominant, and that's what he always looked like, even when he was with Brittany, like that damn curl, man.
Wow, it looks like it fell out of his hairspray and looks just stupid. Oh, yeah, I just wanna cut it off. I do not like it. Um, so
I,
then after
I
that
love
is
that. I love though when Gabby came in, how the first question they asked her was about like what happened at the chapel, because this is going
right,
to lead for the rest of the breakfast too. And she
right.
kind of was just like, the decor was amazing, and like
Yeah,
Alan, he made me feel safe when I turned around and I knew I wasn't murdered.
and but they didn't ask her yet, like, they didn't know at that point, about what he was wearing. Not
Yes.
until Tom comes in next.
Yes. Oh my God. And the way he opened the door, he did like this butler stance where he's like one arm behind the back, one arm out reaching like he's grabbing balls. I said that to Cooch. It's like, it looks like he's grabbing balls. There we go. And he's just
That
like, what are you trying to serve? What are you serving, Sandoval? That you're here?
It is. It's like, and I have arrived. And then he comes in. He's so shocked because he wasn't the last one. So he's literally doing this entrance. I'm so glad you caught this look, because
Yes.
this entrance is him thinking he's the big star and the last one in the room.
Yeah, and he's moving his eyebrows up and down, like, yeah, look at me. And I'm like, you're not the last one. You're not. You're not
No,
that good.
you're not. You're like not even close to the last one.
Exactly. There's three other people that we're waiting to see.
Right. So funny. Actually, four, right? If you count Carolyn.
Yes, four technically with Carolyn, but three are only coming through the door
Right.
because
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, this he's
Michelle's
the
gone.
second. Yeah, we've got four more, but Carolyn we know is coming.
Yes.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
tells everyone that he's shocked that he's there, and Sierra tells him that she was worried that he was going to be, murdered. And he's like, yeah, it's a miracle I'm here. It's like, no, it's really not a miracle.
He
They're
said that
just using you.
he was bound so tight that if he farted, only dogs would hear it.
Yes. And I was like, what the hell does that mean?
You know what? I had to think about this because it bugged me, and I finally
Silence
got it.
deadly. Oh my.
His ass is, because if he farts, his ass is so tight it'll sound like a whistle, like a dog whistle.
Oh my God. Goddamn Sandoval. Makes sense now.
Right?
At first I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, he is
That
so
must be the
weird.
Missouri in me. It finally, like, it took a few minutes, but the Missouri in me related to him, the St. Louis.
There you go.
So
And then,
Tom's the one.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, they asked him about his experience in the chapel. And that's where he says, like, he turned around and he was looking down. And the first thing he noticed was these really trendy shoes that he knew none of them would wear. So it had to be Alan.
I take offense to that, considering Sierra's YSL boots. He can shut up.
Exactly. And there's other people that have some very trendy outfits.
I know Chriselle is
Chriselle,
like mega rich. I'm sure she wore YSL boots and all the trendy stuff.
right?
And then all the housewives, come on. And the boots that Carolyn even had on yesterday were pretty awesome in this last episode.
Exactly.
Okay, Tom, whatever.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
Right. And
But
so then that's where Sam
yes.
gets this great idea that everybody needs to come in and describe exactly what Alan is wearing, and the person who describes him in a different outfit must be the traitor. Danielle's like, oh shit, this guy's smart.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like that's not really smart though. Like if in a perspective, it's like if you're in that moment where you're in the chapel and you could be possibly murdered and you are like nervous and turn around, you don't notice the finer details when you're very nervous. So for Tom to have noticed finer details like that might be his thing, but it might not be everybody else's thing.
Right.
Because then
Right.
I even went back to the old episode and I'm like, what was Alan wearing? Did we see?
I mean, he was just wearing a black cloak and a black hat, and I guess some nice shoes.
Exactly, but I didn't realize that either because I wasn't really paying attention. I was more
Right.
concerned what they were dressed like and how they looked in the chapel than what
Right.
Alan was wearing.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and I thought it was kind of a smart idea because at least the person should be able to say, well, he was all in black.
True.
If they describe that they saw any other color at all, then that, So, I mean, yeah, I think it was a pretty good idea. And then Tom, of course. Oh, wait. Well, then after that, Carolyn comes in.
Yes, and she does this crazy knock on the door, and as soon as she walks in, she literally gets bombarded. They're like, "We want to hear your story. Tell us now."
Which is
It's like,
perfect.
wait a second.
Which is so perfect because she's already always so like awkward with the faces and everything. Like, it's just, God, her faces are going to win her this game.
Oh my God, yes.
But yes, she's got all the faces and everything, and she's just kind of like hemming and hawing. And I think she said the room was really, really pretty, and I think she might have said the word black. Um, and then Tom interrupted it.
Yes. Well, Gabby, when she's like, "Oh, the room was really pretty," and Gabby's like, "Yes, I said the same thing." And then
Yeah,
Tom comes in, and they're like, "Well, what was?" Or Sierra was like, "What was Alan wearing?" And that's when she was stumbling on her words, and she was like, "Well, if I was Carolyn, though, I would have been like, I wasn't really paying attention to what he was wearing. I was more shocked that it was Alan and not the traitors killing me, but she wasn't thinking on her toes." So she was kind of just mumbling. And that's when Tom, like you said, chimed in and was like, "It was kind of like this kilt version thing." And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
yeah, I didn't see a kilt at all. I just saw the big cloak.
No,
I
I
mean,
didn't
really.
either. I saw the hat and the trench coat.
Yeah, yeah, the cloak, the big trench coat. Yep. That was so funny though how because Tom was just right there when Sam said, "Let's test them all," and
He doesn't listen.
they're all like, "Tom."
And in the confessional is like, "Tom, you're a fucking idiot." I'm like, "Yes, he is."
And it's not, that is only the first time he is a huge idiot at breakfast. I love the second time too. So,
Oh,
but
yes.
then we've got Dolores in next.
Yes.
But
Which she also had like a crazy knock on the door too. I thought that was crazy. And when so everybody was excited to see Dolores except for Sam, who kept sipping on his tea. And I thought that was really strange. That's just me noticing things though.
it
But
is
the second Dolores came in, it was the same thing. Like, what was your experience in the chapel?
strange.
Dolores could feel Sam's eyes just
Oh
looking
yeah,
her
here
up
we've got the
and
chapel.
down. Oh, yes. There we go. Yeah, see, I don't see no kilts. He has pants on.
Right, and he does have pants on. So Tom is mistaking this cloak jacket thing as a kilt.
Well, I'm glad he noticed the
And he's got rain
shoes.
boots on.
Right?
I
They
mean,
are
I'm
rain boots.
sure they're like YSL rain boots or whatever, but nonetheless.
God. Well, at
And
least he
then
got the shoes right.
yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
yes,
Dolores. No, you go.
oh, okay. No, let's see. After that, everyone is starting to realize that why do I have Dylan or Christian? Who is Christian? Chriselle. First it says Christian. I was talking to my notes. So first it wrote Christian, and then a couple of seconds later it writes Chris Snell. So everyone is realizing that it's Dylan or Chriselle. They're all saying that they love Chriselle, not Chris Snell. Tom sarcastically is like, "Oh, me too." I really love it when she gives the personal digs.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? You just don't like her because she knows who the hell you are and she can see through your little games that you're trying to play with these people to try to fit in. And you're just
Yep,
mad that she knows you.
yep. And then they've got the last knock on the door. And did you notice how Tom like choked on his food almost?
Yes, I did.
Like, you idiot, stop.
Maybe that's why he shovels it down.
But yeah, so then we've got the very last knock, and they do a flashback over to the church, and we see Tom and his big O face,
Yeah.
because he gets to see Alan, and Chriselle got to see the ladies. The
Yes,
Traitors.
and I love Chriselle's necklace, but when Dylan turned around and he saw Alan, my heart sank for Chriselle because I didn't want either of them to go, honestly, but I kind of was happy to see Dylan still there.
Yeah, same. I didn't want either of them to go either. I didn't. If anybody, I probably would have said goodbye to Dolores because she doesn't really offer much other than, I mean, some good comments, but she's not.
Yeah.
I mean, she really, that clip at the end of "I'm gonna cut if I stay here, I'm gonna kill all you," or whatever she said. Like that was a really good line, but
I love though how when the traders came in for Chriselle, they like decloaked and Danielle's look on her face was just like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Like it was a crazy face.
I know. It was. So then Chriselle is in the little confessional saying that she thought Carolyn played the best game. Oh no, she asked Carolyn why. Carolyn replied that she's just too good of a faithful. And then Danielle said a couple of things, and it was really weird and almost seemed cold, but I feel like she had to deliver those lines.
Yeah, she said it was that point of the it was the point of the game to do what they had to do and it is done.
Right. It is the point of the game to do what we have to do. You could say that about anything. It's the point of this Traitors stream to do what we have to do.
Exactly. And it's done.
I mean, if that's what the script writers wrote for the line, that's like really bad. But it does feel like she was reading a line or something because it was so bad.
It was. I did like that they had to put her in the coffin and they like I don't think they
Yeah.
actually carried her out, but it was the whole premise of how it looked. It was very nice. I liked it.
Right. Yeah, that was neat too. I was surprised they put her in the coffin. That was a nice little touch of murder.
Yes.
Um
But you
and
were right
then
though, in her confessional saying that Carolyn, as a traitor, they're all idiots because Carolyn's playing the best game. I agree
right.
with her. I
I
do.
do too. I do too. Hey, Christine Fortunato.
Hey, girl.
Then we've got, let's see, Tom. Then they were talking about, Tom was saying that Chriselle never ever put herself out there for the votes, or put herself out there until other people were putting themselves out whenever it came time for the votes, like at the round tables. She would be like
Yeah.
the hanger on or whatever. Um, and those
And
are my words.
Brittany was just like, you just have a personal vendetta against her, which
Yeah,
was right. It's
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yes. He refuses. He will not acknowledge that. He just says that it pisses him off. But then Sierra points out that Brittany is basically doing the same thing.
Exactly. And then I'm thinking to myself, not only Brittany, but like Sam's doing the same thing. Tom, you're doing the same thing.
Yep.
Ivor as well. Like you're all doing the same thing. You're just coasting by.
But then Tom disagrees and says, no, Brittany's not, even though Brittany just told him he had a vendetta. Hey, Christoph, I thought that was so
Right? Yes.
funny. And then let's see. I'm sorry, I had to mute really quick and do a little choke. Hi, Heidi.
Not a problem.
Um, this is where then Sierra points. Oh wait, Sierra pointed that. Then Alan comes in to greet his death dodging newlyweds.
Oh, I love it.
The sun is set on dear Chriselle. In the end, death did depart you. Hashtag thoughts and prayers.
I love that.
I loved the hashtag at the end. Because at first I'm like, okay, this is a little lame, and then the hashtag, like, oh no, this is good. It's good.
Woo, 1 month. There we go. I love it. Celebrating your 1 month with me. Thank you, honey.
Oh, cool. Congratulations on 1 month being a Sunshine Squad. Say Sunshiner.
Hey, it
Um,
works.
and then he just says that today's challenge, they dropped a little line from 50 Cent, get rich or die trying.
Yes, I love that. He's like, as something you Americans would understand, get rich or die trying. Sierra laughed. She's like, oh, 50 Cent, yeah.
You're speaking American now. That's our language. Um, he said, "Meet me outside for today's mission and be a doll. Do it quickly."
Mm,
This is
I love it. Because Sierra's just like, she repeats back, she's like, be a doll. And Tom's just like, or do it quickly. And Sam's like, no, Tom. The clue was doll.
But then in the end, I thought, you know what? Tom's actually right because they didn't go anywhere quickly. They had time to sit around and play badminton and do all this other crap. And then when they got
Right?
to the competition, they did have to hurry and do it quickly. So it was actually sort of a hint, but not really. But I'm like, they all laugh at him. I'm like, but wait, they're all just sitting around playing badminton.
Yeah, you're right. I did catch that, but
Because I expect to do it quickly. They're just going to like go ahead and hurry up and get their shit together and get off to the competition. But nope.
most missions are usually 30 minutes, so it's the same amount of
Very
time for most missions.
You're right. You're right. And with most missions, they usually don't actually get started on the mission until halfway through because of the shield aspect of it. So that's,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Today was no different with this
Yes.
competition. But it was fun that they all laugh at Tom when he says, do it quickly. Tom, that's not the damn hint, you idiot.
I loved it.
Then we've got Danielle telling the confessional that she feels like she is in a great spot. And now that Rob is gone, her and Carolyn can be a force together. Um, but then Carolyn's telling the confessional that she's still trying to work shit out with Danielle. She's taking it one day at a time, though. She doesn't trust her. She's taking it one day at a time because so many people in her life have effed her over that she ain't got time to be trusting people right away. Hey, don't say much.
Yeah, I completely agree with her though, because I have trust issues as well. So it's like, just because you said like now we're good, since like she doesn't know that they're good, or Danielle said that, but like she feels this clearly, that now that Rob's gone, that maybe they could bond together. I still would feel that same kind of feeling that Carolyn has, where like we just need to take it day by day because anything can change.
Right, right. Right. So then they exit breakfast, and yes, they were going out to play badminton. We have this little I wrote this down in my notes. The picture I'm about to show you guys. This is what this man chose to do with his extra time. Talk to the
Talk to
stag,
the statue.
Lord. Lord Stag, give me answers, he says.
I hope that statue answered back, Sandoval.
Oh my gosh.
He's just so weird.
Oh my God. He is so weird because everybody's like, there's people in groups, people playing badminton, people sitting in groups, chit chatting, and Tom's by himself talking to the stag.
Right. It's like, oh,
It's like, hey,
okay.
you're a stag, and I'm a stag. I'm the stag stud. You're the staghorn.
I will say he told us though in the confessional that like he was surprised about Dolores, and that if Dolores was a traitor, like he would totally be out, but he's still here. So Dolores is clearly not a traitor. So now he just doesn't know what direction he's really going in.
Yeah. And then after that, he's sitting in the group with Carolyn, Gabby, Sierra, and Dylan, and remembered that Carolyn and Danielle had a problem a couple of days prior and asked for reminders about what Danielle had done
Mm.
to Carolyn. And so then
Yep.
Carolyn explains how Danielle told Brittany that she had mentioned her as somebody to go when that never happened.
Yes.
Um, so um, Carolyn is also saying then to the confessional she didn't want to throw Danielle under the bus, but what is she going to do when people ask her directly? She's not going to lie.
Yes, because as she says, it'll look suspicious, and she's absolutely right. If she's like, "Oh no, it was just something I moved on," like it would look suspicious. So she's
Right,
absolutely right.
right. She is. Um, and then Sam's in a group with Dolores and Danielle and Ivor, and he's talking about how they should revisit the coffin theory, which, with Sierra being the traitor in the coffin.
Yes, which I think is so dumb. And his whole theory is that like if that Boston Rob and Bob the drag queen are very powerful people and they could have convinced Sierra to get into the coffin that night. And I'm just like, no, dude, you're so
Ah,
off. You're so
I love
off.
the look on Carolyn's face when that was said later. Like she's,
Yes.
no, I don't think so. And then Brittany pointed out that Sierra was the only one besides Boston Rob that voted against her the night before. So, that could make her a traitor.
Yes, and she's like she was agreeing with every single word that Rob had to say. Okay, Brittany, that's
But
your
her and Rob just
theory.
won a competition and did really well. And he got her to face like her huge fear of bugs. And there is some kind of a loyalty in that when somebody is actually, like it's almost like he's her hero because he helped her get through something that she was scared to death of that she never thought she'd do.
Exactly. That's how I saw it.
Yeah. So then it's basically time. Oh wait, no. Then Gabby asked Danielle what she was thinking. Gabby asked Danielle what she thinks, and
Well,
Danielle.
first, Sierra is thinking because Danielle and Brittany have a strong alliance to each other
Uh huh.
that there's something going on there. And she points that out that they say that they don't play games, but bitch, all you do is play games.
Right, your big brother. That's all you do.
Yes. And I think that's where Sierra tells Gabby that she thinks that they have traitor qualities. I
Right.
like
It
how
was. I think
she
Carolyn
words
was
it.
there then too, wasn't she?
Yes.
I remember Carolyn because I remember thinking, Carolyn, you're on Survivor. You're like more gamer qualities and Big Brother are the same anyway.
Yes, that's true.
Survivor and Big Brother equally strong gamers.
More than Vanderpump and Real Housewives. Those aren't
Exactly.
gamers.
Yeah, because they're not game. I mean, they're gamers in a different way. Just trying to
Reality TV.
right gamers for camera time.
Exactly.
So yeah, and they were saying, yeah, so that's what I have written down. I guess I just wrote down, I meant to write Carolyn's name down. I have Danielle's name written in the wrong spot. But then it is time for the competition. They're gonna split
Yes.
2 teams of 5. 5 go with Alan, 5 stay at the house. But the ones who agree to stay at the house cannot win a shield. And the other
Yeah.
5 have to go to Alan's very special old broken dollhouse in the woods.
Ugh, creepy dolls.
Yes, creepy dolls.
And then when they have to split up to make the teams, Dylan's like, okay, so who didn't get a shield last time? And it was like, I see your point on like how you were trying to divide everybody into groups. But Tom's, of course, like, I haven't got a shield the last 2 times.
I
Gabby's
know.
like, I haven't got a
That's
shield
so
since the
funny.
beginning.
Right? Like, Tom, I feel like you get a shield every time. You're always like being selfish. Like, trying to
But
get
what did they resort to again?
right.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
Never fails.
um, so then Danielle says that she wants to make sure, and she's telling the confessional, she wants to make sure that her and Carolyn are on opposite teams and that Brittany is on Danielle's team. Number one, because Carolyn's been itching to kill Brittany, she thinks. And so
Mm-hmm.
she can protect her. And number 2, and I do not get this, Jackie, and this pissed me off
Me
or it
too.
irritated me. But number 2, yes, because she doesn't want Carolyn to find out who won the shield.
Exactly. I was like, what the F? With a question mark next to my notes. Like, because
Right.
what are you doing? And this is why Carolyn does not trust you.
Right. This makes no sense. What purpose does it serve for Carolyn not to know?
But in the
Like,
long run, she doesn't do
like
what she says.
is it just I know, and is it just so you can try to get Carolyn to talk shit about? I don't know. Like, what purpose?
Exactly. It's
Other than
like there's still something going on there, and Carolyn can see through the bullshit.
you're making a really bad, sneaky decision. I'm okay with sneaky decisions, but it's a really bad decision. I don't understand how she could really benefit from that decision.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, I'm going to be so mad if she wins.
I was shocked though too. Then she said she wanted to protect Brittany. I'm like, girl, what the f there too? Like, what are
Right.
you doing?
Which it would be really funny. I think like if her and Brittany made it to the end and then she won, it would be like her big revenge on Brittany for evicting her in Big Brother.
And I will say this: Gabby does point that out. I forget where she points it out. It might have been when she was talking to Sierra, but she points it out like that Brittany and Brittany and Danielle might be traitors when they were talking about the traitor qualities, and that if one of them gets to the end, one of them might not be a traitor, and how would that make the other feel? And I'm
Yep.
thinking, oh, it is gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. And see, with Brittany not being much of a gamer and Danielle being a gamer, it hurt Danielle even more that Brittany was able to get rid of her and Big Brother. That somebody who doesn't have a level of game respect that Danielle
Ooh.
has in that world got rid of her. Kind of like Tom getting rid of Rob, if that, if you want to believe that theory.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. There's a bit of pride that Danielle must carry with her that somebody who ranks so much lower on the gaming aspect of Big Brother was able to get rid of her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Um, so the competition is basically the five that go with Alan have to find four dolls that are going to sing nursery rhymes. Now, all these dolls are singing the nursery rhyme backwards. So they have to memorize the backwards song. They have to run over to a payphone. They have to call the five people at the house. They have to sing the song to the five people at the house. The people at the house then have to memorize what that person is singing. They have to take it over to an inverse gramophone machine
Yep.
and sing it, and then it should be playing the nursery rhyme back.
Oh my God, what a twist of events, man.
I'm going to type something in the chat right now because I was trying to do just the example of what he gave us.
Oh my God, it was so bad. I literally didn't understand anything that they were saying. I got the first one with Alan with the example of the London Bridge, like the doll that he had to show as the example.
I
But
didn't.
when they got to the game, it didn't make any sense after that.
I just typed in what London Bridge is backwards. Noad Gnuf C Edgerberg Nodnall. She didn't say Edgerb, she said Schwerb.
That's true.
So I'm like, no, this is a lie. But it's look at that. It's like Noad Gnuf C Edgerb Nodnall. That is London Bridge is falling down.
Sounds like a whole
Everybody's
different
saying that
language.
out loud. Everybody in the chat is saying that out loud now.
Oh my! But Tom, though, he thinks he's this musically inclined person.
Yes.
It just he was like trying to sing it too, and it's like, no, you're just say the words. Don't try
At
to sing
first, he
it.
was trying to be like he was trying to be a trained Juilliard student, singing these songs outside. Like,
Oh my God, that was great.
it was so funny. He's got like his finger to his ear, and like his finger up, like he's just that Juilliard trained.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my
He
God.
says he is the only musically inclined person in the entire house.
Wrong. Just
How?
because he has a cover band, Tom Sandoval and the Most
Right.
Extras, where he
He's
sings wedding
horrible.
songs. Like it's the worst band in the world.
His band is awful.
He
Like
thinks who he is.
that is you don't have a successful band. Your band is only it's because of your name, and at first it's because you made fun of Tom's mom and effing her in a
Yeah,
song.
that was, and then he did have like a one-hit wonder back in the day with some like other guy that kind of reminds me of like the Bloodhound Gangs in a way, like because he sang like a crazy song, but like
Okay.
it was like a like I like to touch myself ooh kind of song. It was like
Oh, I remember
no.
they played that on Vanderpump along like many seasons ago.
Yes, yes, that was his one hit wonder. And
I didn't know
honestly,
that was a one-hit
Sheena's
wonder.
better with her one hit wonders.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's so bad. But it was so funny because then he runs over to the phone and he's trying to sing it into the phone. And Alan is back. I could not. I was crying laughing at Alan.
Me too, me too. And Sam's first words after he hears Tom is like, wow, that's a terrible singer. I'm like, yes, yes.
Yes.
I mean, you did date Britney Spears, so you know what a good singer is.
Right, right. At least you got that. And by the end, Tom wasn't doing him as serious, but those first ones, it's like he was really trying to act like he was some Juilliard trained singer,
Oh,
and all these weird words are perfect, and they're
I
no.
loved it.
I loved the one too where Ivor was on the porch trying to give him the words. Um,
Yes. I thought Ivor did it much better.
he did do it much better than Tom.
And I love the people at the castle. Every time like they would answer the phone, they kept going, anyone but Tom, anyone but Tom, anyone but Tom.
Every time it was Tom.
But they got all of them right, which I cannot believe they got all of these right because it literally didn't sound like any of like even putting it
No.
into that gramophone. I didn't hear any of this shit that they heard.
No, I heard the word mice like they did, and then I'm in my head.
Yes.
I'm thinking, well, what's got mice in it? And I kept thinking of mice and men, and then I'm like, Kelly, that's not a song.
But
Which was a child's song.
like the first one with the row, row, row your boat, it didn't even sound like that.
No, it didn't. It was war. Wait, row your boat.
No, you're
Tobe.
right. War, war, war.
That's the beginning, though. It would be
Oh yeah.
war. Tober,
It,
war. But if
it
you
didn't
say
sound
that,
like that.
why do you got to sing? Tobe
It,
for boat, row your boat. So your roar.
yeah. You don't
So
need the sing, and that's what he was doing. He was singing it.
yeah, you just say, we just did it. Tobe, your war.
Yeah. I think he
They
thought
went that
maybe
in
the
verse.
music would help with the rhythm, but I don't think it really matched up the way that Sandoval was hoping.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't seem to at all. It didn't seem to have the rhythm at all. I think that's why, because the other two, I had no clue what, and still the mice one, I mean, I didn't know, but that was enough for them to get it.
Yeah. The
Uh,
Twinkle Twinkle Little Star didn't sound like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
no,
And
it didn't.
the Muffin Man didn't sound like the Muffin Man either.
No. Oh, and there was, I didn't catch this the first time, but the second time when I went back and rewatched, Sierra had heard one of the dolls actually say that the shield was inside was with their good friend Bear.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then Sierra did say it out loud, but nobody paid attention to her.
Nope. And then she goes outside and she looks on the ground and she sees the bear print that says bear, and she sees a little metal chain and she just scooped that thing. I was so excited for her.
Me too. I always forget when they find the shield that there's still a chance of murder. I always forget, and I hate
Me
that.
too.
I hate
But
that.
did you notice too when Alan was telling them that one person got the shields? He was like, the way he said it was like that there were. It sounded like there were multiple other shields still in there, but only one person got a shield. I forgot the way he said it. He was just like, and only one person found a shield. Like there was maybe more there, but no one else found it but
Oh
her.
my gosh, I didn't catch that.
But the dolls really did creep me out because they were like spitting stuff at them. They were saying that they were going to kill them. Like it was creepy AF. It reminded me, I'm not going to lie, of the crazy doll story from Loon Moon.
Right, same here. I always think of that when creepy dolls come up.
Me too.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I wonder if this doll's gonna scratch him.
Right? But they didn't even call in the first nursery rhyme for over 15 minutes of the 30-minute comp. So they had to get
Yes.
all 4 of those in less than 15 minutes.
And I love that Tom was like, here, hold the phone. And Alan's like, you're going to let Sandoval bully you? Put that phone down.
He says, "What are you doing?" Ivor's like, "I don't know. You're gonna let Tom bully you? Put that phone down, Ivor. Ivor, be your own man."
It was great.
I'm like, but do you realize like what's really even funnier about that is Ivor is like a lord, and over in
Yeah.
Scotland they follow the aristocracy of the UK. Well, they're the
Mm-hmm.
UK, so so he was basically telling somebody who was above him on the aristocratic level to go be his own man. I was dying.
Oh, it was great.
This is so good. I hope the Brits and the people loved that because I did.
Me too.
Um, and then let's see what happened next.
The car ride back. So Sierra asked Tom how he's feeling about the round table, and he's just telling her he has no clue. And Sierra is just like, I have a feeling that Brittany might be a traitor, and she's laying really low, especially because the last 2 traitors were very extremely outspoken. And she tells that to us in the confessional.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivor tells Danielle in the other car that they're going for Sierra. And Danielle just like, I'm just gonna let it go as it goes.
Yes. Yep.
Thought that was very interesting.
I did too. I did too. Then oh, Danielle. Let me see. Another card, Danielle. Oh yeah, Danielle was also in the confessional then, saying it had been rough for her and Carolyn over the past few days. So she'd be fine with Sierra going because nobody's focusing on the traitors; they're focusing on other faithfuls.
Which I get that. I do.
Right. And then we've got the people at the house have started eating dinner. The 5 at the house, and
Yes.
we've got them. Sam talking to Gabby and Carolyn, trying to get the Sierra coffin theory thing moving as a thing to aim for the
But she
night.
tells Sierra, which I loved, that she tells Sierra,
Yeah, Carolyn pulls Sierra and tells Sierra,
yeah.
not Dan. Yeah,
And that she
yes.
would rather
Danielle's
Brittany get
excited and tells
banished.
Sierra, but then Carolyn tells Sierra.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Oh, and then he was talking about this is actually where he was talking about how Bob the drag queen could easily convince Sierra to go into a coffin because
Yes.
2 strong men convincing a little old woman to go in the coffin.
That's which I mean I can see his theory, though we know that's not the case.
Not Sierra though. Not Sierra.
No.
No.
No. And that's because he doesn't know Sierra like we know Sierra.
But even for the short time she's been there, and she was just such a badass at I don't know. Well, though they use that too, but yeah, I don't know.
Yes. I love that Dylan was telling Dolores that he's wanted to bring up Brittany's name based off of what Derek had said to him, besides the fact that there's not really much evidence. And that's actually when Ivor and Tom join in and they get back. And I don't know if they actually tell them their theory, but I thought that was interesting that Dylan still had Derek on his mind and the evidence about Brittany.
Yes, I agree. Um, yep. He said that there's definitely something to that. Also, Carolyn was telling the confessional that she wanted Sierra to stay, and she'd rather have Brittany get banished, just
Mm,
because her and Danielle are too close. Which makes 100% sense. If you get rid of Brittany, then you can bring Danielle closer to you.
yes.
Um, so that makes sense why Carolyn would want Brittany gone. Um, then that's where um Danielle is starting. Oh wait, no, was that no? That was at the end. Caroline asks Sarah what Sarah talks about. Okay, so then that's where they
One
talk.
second, honey.
Sure. Oh, I'm not honey.
No, because my boyfriend's telling me that it's snowing outside, and he's trying to see when my grandmother is coming home from church, and because he's worried about her, which I get. I'm worried about her coming up the stairs too, but I also not looking out the window right now.
Oh well, if we need to end this early, that is not a problem. We can
Don't worry
come
about
back.
it. He
Okay,
got
well,
her.
all right. Do you need to go on hold and make a call or anything?
No, because she's not going to answer her phone anyways at church.
That's true. Okay.
I know my grandmother too well.
All right. Well, then Sierra's in the confessional, and she says that if they want to talk about the coffin, that oh no, then Sierra walks into the kitchen where Ivor and them were talking about the coffin theory. Sam asks her what she has to say about it, and she says, well, Jeremy's the one who's dead, and Danielle was the only person that he named, and now he's dead. And she keeps trying to reinforce that, like, why isn't anybody looking at Danielle? He's the one that said Jeremy's the one that said her name.
Yes, yes.
And then Brittany is in another room with Danielle, and saying that she knows that Sierra's a traitor, that she's by far the most obvious, and she has to go. We've got Gabby and
Yes.
Tom in the hallway asking each other dumb questions, and nothing made sense. Then it goes back to Sam, Ivor, and Dolores. Oh wait, that's when they were in the kitchen, and Sarah walked in. Okay.
Yes. Which I love that Sierra just was like, we're going back to this coffin thing again. Like, she doesn't realize that Sam was the one who threw that theory out there. And I love that she confronted him without even knowing.
I do too. I do too. And she's right. I hate that they think, because there's not been nothing in her personality that has said that she's like a weak person that would let these big, strong men make decisions for her.
I get it too, in the same sense, though, that like if they don't close that door, then they'll never know. But you also have to move on at this point too.
Yeah, I do agree. They need to. It is a door they need to close. I just hate the weak women stuff, and it's just annoying, and it's just the way it is in the world that these idiots do.
Which this is where the round table begins.
Right. So we've got the round table beginning. Sierra decides she is going to start. And she basically goes back to the coffin theory and talks about Jeremy. Said there was no sense that, the Nikki wasn't a traitor. Jeremy wasn't a traitor. She's definitely not a traitor. And then Ivor's like, but it's got to be a girl, because there could be no more men, because 2 men went, and so it's just got to be a girl that's a traitor. Blah blah blah.
Yes. And this is where freaking Sandoval comes in, and he's like, well, at least one of them. Come on, because also, generally speaking, and historically, girls are better cheaters than guys, just because they have better social status.
Yes.
And Danielle screams, like, she wails, wow, that came out your mouth? And I'm like, yes, Danielle, thank you.
I wailed out loud too.
Well, then he's like, oh my God, I meant to say traitor. She's like, no, you said cheater. He's like, I meant to say traitor.
At first he said, I said traitor. She's like, no, you said cheaters. Oh, I meant to say traitors. Well, yes, you didn't, you damn liar. How did you, you didn't say traitors, you said cheaters. And then he gets a little bit of attitude. He's like, oh, come on, when people are like, especially you, cheater. Oh, come on.
He's like, well, guys are more likely to cheat, and I fully get that. It's like, yeah, you should. You cheater. Right. You cheated on your girlfriend for 7 months behind her back with her best friend? Get the hell out of here.
I can't imagine what Chriselle would have done if she'd still
she might have murdered him, like, in Minecraft, we call it.
Traitors, I'm turning this game around. I am now the murderer, and you are dead.
I would have jumped over the table.
Oh my God! I love all the women's expressions, and even the men. Everybody's just like, what the fuck?
Oh my God! Even Sam too. Sam tells him not to keep digging himself a deeper hole. I was like, thank you, Sam.
Sam, and that stupid curl on your head. Thank you.
But then he goes back to that coffin beer, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Sam.
Right? He's just like, this is all we got. This is all we got.
So that's all you got. Go with something new.
And then Brittany, she says, it's just so telling that the 2 votes were from Rob and Sierra that were for me. I guess I don't know what's telling about it, because especially since Sierra was a faithful Brittany, but.
Well, then Sierra tells her, well, I didn't vote for you because of Rob. I voted for you because you've been skating around these round tables. And if anything, you're a really good traitor, because traitors potentially are going to lay low, especially for the fact that they had 2 really outspoken people that were traitors that left. So the other people might have to be less outspoken, which is completely true.
Yep.
I mean, they're kind of getting it, just not all the right people.
Right. Oh, here I go. Now I can fix it. I've been trying to make this round the whole time. I've just this stupid restream. Sorry. Okay. Better
Not a problem.
So then Tom is just like doing a ton of overacting and agreeing. All like they keep flashing on his face through the whole thing because of all of his over exaggerated agreeing and disagreeing faces.
Yes, and my grandma's home, everybody. She's safe and sound.
Good. Yay. Hi, Grandma. She must have been like almost at the street when he was worried.
Right? I will say too, Tom bringing up the fact that Sierra was like, fuck you, traitors, when she was in the coffin. She made a really good point about the flight or fight.
Yes.
And how she's going to always fight no matter what. And then she talked about her mom, which she's talked about her mom on Summer House before too, and like her mom having to be so strong and to fight for everything that she's had, and she learned from her mother, and she's going to be the same way. And I just I felt that from her so much, and I wish that other people saw it that way too.
Right.
Sam thinking it was pre-rehearsed, like what the hell?
Then she points out when she points out the Jeremy stuff, Danielle is trying to act like, oh, well, I was so shocked when he mentioned my name. I just have no idea where that came from because I'm just a little faithful.
She was shaking there too. I don't know if you noticed that. She was shaking there too.
The shaking then, was she? Okay.
Yes.
No, I didn't catch it again until the very end.
Yeah, she was. I noticed it there at the round table, and then at the end and in the beginning, like you said.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Tom had said that Sierra was badass for that. Sam had agreed, thought, and did say it could have been premeditated. Ivor then was saying that the 2 men traitors were so powerful. How could they talk a little old woman into getting in the coffin, is what I wrote. Sierra said, that's, what did she say? Because
she respectfully disagrees.
She said something that starts with a B and a cuss word. Because my microphone things start out the word. Sierra says that's a bitch ass move, maybe is what
yes.
She said.
Yes.
No man's gonna convince me into a coffin, especially Rob and Bob the drag queen. The other women are all in the background, kind of pridefully smiling in agreement with Sierra, like, are you serious? Like, you men are going to try to say that the women's are weaker and we're just going to do what the men tell us.
Yeah.
We are in 2025. So that was, I thought that was kind of fun. And then it was time to vote.
I can't believe it was so unanimous.
I can't either. Everybody voted her out except for, obviously, she didn't vote herself out. She voted for Brittany. But otherwise, everybody voted for her.
Which I think is telling for the next episode to come.
I do too. I think Brittany might be in a lot of trouble unless, well, we'll get there too.
Yes.
So then Sierra goes up. She says she's not one to, for long speeches. And she played as hard as she could. And she's faithful. And she just has the dramatic Sierra exit. I adore her. I said,
Yeah.
"We loved you. You played great."
Everyone, do you know that Sam even like after she left, Sam acknowledged that he messed up, and I was
He
like,
was
yeah,
so stupid.
you
I was
did.
so annoyed because it's like, oh, I guess we got that one wrong.
It's like
Not
you
we.
guess,
It wasn't
yeah,
me. You were the driving force on this one. I do agree we had to
exactly.
put it to bed, but he was the driving force.
He was the one who said, I think we should look at this coffin theory again. It was all you, Sam. It was all you.
Yep. And then as they remember, then they walked out, and Dylan is upset that he voted for Sierra and that a
Yes.
couple of other people who didn't want to vote for Sierra also voted. He feels like if those people had all voted the way they wanted, then maybe Sierra would still be there.
Yeah, yeah, I love it because he says the saddest part at the round table is people saying, I don't think you are, but we have to. And they really don't have to, that they are in control of their own fate. And he's so right.
Yep. Yep. And then after that, we've got Carolyn and Tom and Gabby talking. Carolyn asked Tom who got the shield. Tom
Yes.
lies and then suggests it was Sierra. The shield walked out the door. Tom says, no, nope, it wasn't Sierra. Sierra didn't get the shield. I don't know who got the shield, but it wasn't Sierra.
Yeah, he's like,
Um,
oh, why would we know that she's in the hot seat and give her the shield? Because she picked it up off the ground, you idiot.
right. And when he knew it because on the way back he asked Ivor who got the shield right at the very end of the competition, and Ivor
Mm-hmm.
told him that she got it. So he knew, but he was just trying to keep with the mystery so the traitors wouldn't would think, they all had shields and wouldn't murder them.
Yeah.
Um, then we've got, this is really good. So we've got Sam, Ivor, and Dylan are back in that room behind the bookshelf, behind the bar, behind the bookshelf. Sam, Ivor, and Dylan are back there talking. And then they hear, I guess Danielle laughs, and Dylan hears something, says hello. Nobody replies, so says come in or whatever. Nobody replies. He gets up and walks outside of the room, comes out
Yes.
from the bookshelf. And I don't know who looked more guilty, Danielle, Carolyn, or him. They all three
They
looked.
all look guilty.
And really, Danielle and Carolyn had nothing to be guilty about for just sitting in there having a conversation. So I found that really funny that they all looked guilty.
I think Dylan knew it looked suspicious, though, because they had closed the door behind them.
Oh, I
So
didn't
no
notice.
one knew that they were in there.
So they purposely wanted a private conversation, and he noticed.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So
But
he
then
knew it
they
looked
also
suspicious.
clearly wanted a private conversation to go into the bookshelf room.
Well, they were like at first, like they were being like the guys, like, oh, like this is such a cool room, trying on the like weird helmets and stuff like that. And then it was like, all right, now that we're here, let's have a conversation.
Yep. So yeah, it did sort of start off casually, but I don't think you go in there to be casual.
No.
Secret place. Danielle is asking if her and Carolyn are good. Carolyn is asking Danielle who got the shield, and Danielle is refusing to tell Carolyn that Sierra got it. It says that she'll tell her later. Carolyn is facially clearly annoyed.
But see, that's maybe where they thought Dylan heard that, because she says, I'll tell you later in the turret. And that's when he comes out. So they, I think, thought that maybe he heard that part. So that's why they were like that guilt face on when he came out, where Dylan just knew it looked suspicious that they were all in there.
Right. So then the ladies asked who was in there. And Danielle said right away that it looks sus, and Dylan's like, whatever, I can leave though if you guys want.
Yes.
Danielle's like, no, that just looks weird. Like, okay, well, Danielle, you're everything's sus and weird. You're not helping the situation.
Right.
Dylan then says to the confessional that he's still suspicious of Gabby, but he is also suspicious of Brittany and Danielle. I'm so glad he didn't mention Carolyn.
Right. And this is where Carolyn's playing a good game, clearly.
Yep.
And this is where Danielle is shaking profusely.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he even notices it because he's like, me and Danielle I've trusted her, but there's just something weird about her shaking. I don't know if she's acting. And I'm like, that's a good catch, Dylan. It's a
Yeah.
very good catch.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, I didn't catch that she said the word Tourette. Wow. I completely missed that.
Yeah. See, I watch it with the closed captioning on the second time because I always miss words.
Yeah.
So that's, I saw that at the end. I was like, oh, okay. I get it now why you guys are a little sus looking.
Mm-hmm. And now Dylan's all sus at Danielle, which is amazing. Then we've got
Yes.
Danielle and
I love it.
Carolyn meeting in the Tourette.
Which Alan scares the living daylights out of Carolyn, which I love.
I
I don't
did
think they're expecting a knock.
too. No, Danielle had just told her that Sierra had it. Carolyn was afraid to believe her, and I don't blame her because of Tom's lies and because Danielle has been such a liar and didn't want to, and wanted to try to be all sneaky about it too. So I
Yes.
understand Carolyn's distrust, and then that's where Alan has the very loud knock and comes into his conflict. He was so sorry to interrupt the conclave, confab, trash talk, murder, or and then they had to choose between murder or seduction.
Yes. Which they're indecisive as all can be. Danielle wants to recruit somebody where Carolyn's like, nope, let's just murder somebody. But Danielle thinks if they murder somebody, that their chances of being found out are higher. And
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn doesn't think that they need people in there, to be honest, which I do agree with her because the more people is when they usually have the craziest issues. And
Yep.
it's like they just got to a point where they're kind of trusting each other. And it's like you're gonna bring somebody in. And you know what's crazy? They named all women. They didn't
Right.
think about any of the men.
Right. Why wouldn't you put a man in? I guess
I
because
would,
they need
yeah.
another woman. If they want another woman to be the scapegoat, then Danielle is going to make Carolyn the scapegoat. She's going to copy Rob and pull a Rob move.
And Carolyn gets it right off the bat, especially
Yep.
when she's like Dolores and Danielle's like, nope. And that only leaves Brittany or Gabby. And she even says, like, I'd rather have Gabby than Brittany. And Danielle's like, well, why? She's like, are you feeling like that we would betray you? And she's like,
Duh.
yeah, I do.
Duh.
Like, you're going to have your bestie here. Like, what else am I going to think? Come on now.
And then Danielle pulls the all-time as Big Brother super fans. A lot of us hate this move, and they're not actually allowed to do it with money with winnings. But she pulls the "I will split the winnings with you if I win, I'll split it with you." So
That's how it
Danielle can
works.
get away,
That's
and
how it works.
Danielle's freaking lying her ass off. She ain't gonna split shit with her. She's just saying that to try to get her way. And in Big
Mm-hmm.
Brother, people have it's like I often would call them prison deals because they would try to barter cigarettes for votes because you couldn't really offer money. And so they would try to find things that were valuable. So people would offer cigarettes. And then in later seasons, people would offer pieces of jewelry that they had on, like a little diamond ring or diamond earrings or
Oh,
something like that.
interesting.
Um, nobody ever won that made any of these deals, but
Now that
but yeah,
sucks because I would like to see that deal done.
yeah, it's totally a Big Brother move for Danielle to try to offer half of her prize winnings. I like and Carolyn. Luckily, Carolyn's got the survivor in her. She ain't gonna believe that. I don't think that
Yes.
Carolyn cannot let Brittany up there. If Carolyn lets Brittany up there, she is done. It necessarily isn't smart either for Danielle to let Gabby up there because Gabby's closer to Carolyn.
But why
Uh,
not let one of the guys then?
right.
I don't think Sam or Sandoval would be good picks, but I think that if Dylan had the opportunity, he would.
Yeah. I think Dylan, I don't know if he'd say yes. I don't know if he'd say yes. Like he could be like that one guy last season
Yeah.
who was just so loyal that he wouldn't take it. I could see Dylan maybe doing that, but I don't know. But Dylan would be the one I would pick of everybody.
Me too. Because
So
that's the only person I was thinking. Like, if Dolores is already off the table, which I don't think Dolores would make a good traitor, but she could be a traitor if she had to. My only other person was Dylan. And then that would help them with the whole ratio of 2-1 with a guy, that they could, maybe then have him convince the guys that, maybe it's not another 2 girls, it could be a guy in there as well. I don't know. We'll have to see though. But
right.
I did see the previews for next week, and I will say this: Parvati and Kate are coming back for next
Yes,
week.
I saw that. Finally, they're coming.
I'm so excited.
That's really cool. I didn't even recognize Parvati at first. Parvati always looks different.
It's that headband.
Yes, it is.
Which Brittany stole the headband from Parvati. I'll say that.
I hate the First Lady headbands.
Me too. Me too. I'm not a fan.
So, not that Laura Marie says, I thought Danielle meant that her and Carolyn would go to the end together and win together and split the winnings together. 2 traitors can't win. That's the thing. It's either the faithfuls win and split because they got rid of all the traitors, or one traitor wins it all.
Yes.
So, because not that Laura Murray, I was thinking that too. And like, oh, wait a minute, but there's no way because only one traitor wins. So Danielle can't mean it like that.
Yes. She did say, though, like, it's you and me to the end, girl. She did say it like that. But I thought the same thing, too. I'm like, it's only one traitor that can win. So what does she mean by that?
Right.
And I wouldn't trust her with my life. If, like, you're already doubting yourself with her, how are you going to trust her to make a deal like that?
It's really funny because she's like playing the worst game and Carolyn's playing the best game, and they have to work together. And you would think, I'm looking on the outside just from them too, you would think it would be so the opposite of how the games are being played too. You would think Danielle would be playing a much better game than Carolyn.
Yes. And
Carolyn
my girl.
Go ahead.
Oh, my girl, Christina, I did a poll over on my chat. She thinks that Danielle is going to make it to the end as the traitor. So we'll see.
Yes, we will see. Now, a great idea. Let me get a drink of my Cherry Coke Zero. Okay, so a great idea. Pippi suggested a few weeks ago to me that we try to figure out how to do a Traitors game.
Yes.
And it's a great idea, but trying to figure out how to do that is a bit of a challenge.
It's not that hard, actually, because the traitor game actually comes from a card game that we can get.
Right. But how do we, this is where we had trouble figuring stuff out is, she just Googled and said 2 traitors can win. Oh, really? Sorry, look, I'm on 3 different thoughts at once right now.
I thought it was only one traitor could win.
Me too.
Well, if you Googled it, I believe you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they do change the rules up throughout every season, so you never know.
Right. I mean, and they did change the one for this season about the one thing that I'm stuck on. They changed that one thing about that one thing of the one thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where we had 4 traitors too, and we never had 4 traitors before.
Yeah, no, the way to the voting is at the end that you're not going to find out how many, like if there's any traitors until there's absolutely none.
Yes, that one too. Yes, that was much different.
So this morning Heidi brought it up too as an idea to play the game, and she was saying that we could do some kind of start it off as some kind of an IG group where everybody who wants to play is in the IG group, and that's kind of where some of the conversations are, and then we take it to the channel to do the votes and stuff like that. And then Pippi suggested we can do the competitions on multiple people's channels, whoever, just change, people's channels or whatever, and do competitions like that. but I get it's just narrowing. It's just trying to figure out how all the communication is going to work out because nobody can know who the traitors are, and people are going to have to be able to have one-on-one conversations. But somebody's going to have to be able to see all of the conversations.
Yeah, like someone has to be the host, like Alan, kind of a
Right.
thing.
Right.
Yes.
And that person, so if I was the host, then I'd have to have access and be able to see we couldn't do it in a Discord because everybody's color coded. So that would give
Oh,
it
I
away.
gotta send you this. I found because I was looking up to see the rules, and I found something that's called 9 rules you didn't know about the Traitors Castle. And do you know what one of the first rules is? And you're gonna
What?
laugh. Players don't actually sleep in the castle.
Really?
Yes, it's the first rule.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a limit on how much they can drink. Wow.
Oh, that's good.
There's a limit amount. There's a limit amount of places that they can actually go in the castle. They're secured to ensure that faithfuls don't see the traitors conversing. So that's why they don't sleep at the castle. Okay. Cast members can't talk about the game to each other at the hotel outside of filming hours. And let's see what this next one is. Cast members must give up their personal belongings. Dun dun dun, no cell phones. Players don't know who will be on the show before they arrive. And celebrities cannot promote their brands.
Good.
Oh, and they must take a personal test beforehand, which we already knew that. So that's not something I didn't know. That's how we know which one would like to be traitors and which ones would not. That's how Alan kind of picks from there.
I don't see how 2 traitors could remain at the end because if you've got 2 traitors and a faithful, the 2 traitors are going to fight for the faithful to get rid of one of them.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
just don't even get
interesting.
it. This is over my head. It's over my.
I'm gonna have to go in the wiki, because they have like a fandom for the traitors. So I'm gonna have to look on that and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
We'll have to get back to you guys on that.
Interesting. Thanks, not that Lauren Marie. It's good information. It's
It
confusing, but it's
is.
good. I mean, awesome. So yeah, I don't know if we can figure this out on how the conversation parts would work, but how fun would that be? And we could even co-host it together and run it on both of our channels, and then
Yeah,
everybody splits up the games and stuff like that.
definitely. I'm gonna definitely. I mean, I'll just buy the game on Amazon, and that way we can see how the cards work at least, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Because if we have the card game, at least then we can, if I have to take pictures of all the cards and kind of like put them into a system where they shuffle the photos, kind of a thing, maybe that would be the way to work.
Okay.
But it'd take a lot of work, but we could still
I
do it.
know. But if
We
there's a
could still
way
do it.
even without the game
Hmm.
to do it also possibly.
We'll have to talk
Because there
about
still has to be
this.
conversations had with people, I would think, no matter what.
Yes. Even when the housewives did it for like a game night, I think it was Beverly Hills that did it as a game night. And they had conversations in between each round so that they
Right.
could discuss who they thought were traitors and who were they thought were faithful. So yeah, there'd have to be some kind of communication.
There's actually, now that I think about it, there are games that they've played online. Like they have these big people, like regular people play Big Brother, and they just do online games where they just like use solo cups and do stuff with balls and things like that. But the people then also would have private conversations with each other in the stream yards. And so it would all be
Okay.
live on certain channels, but it would still just be like with the one on like them, their one-on-ones.
I'm looking up to see if they have an online game.
Work.
I don't see why they wouldn't have an online game. Play new Traders game online now. So they do have an online Traders game.
Okay.
Okay, let's look up. We're gonna do our research and we're gonna get back
Yeah, we're gonna
because
figure this out, you guys.
yeah, I
Very
definitely
great
would
idea.
love this.
Pippi and Heidi, thank you very much for your brilliant ideas. And
Yes,
Jackie, and I guess, is that all we got for today then?
Yes, I'm excited for next week because I can't wait to see Kate. But it looks like they're not actually coming back into the game. They're just hosting the mission for next week from the
Yeah.
previews.
I was going to be surprised this late in the game if they had people entering, but then, wouldn't put it past them either. So,
Exactly.
who knows? Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another week of the Traitors. And please hit the like button on my channel and on Sunshineries. And
Before we go,
also go to the opposite channels and hit the like button too, please, if you wouldn't mind.
you got to play the Newly Dead game from last week.
Oh, that's right. I've even got it pulled up. Thank you.
No problem.
You're ready to go. Share screen. I'm so glad you remembered. Because I would have been so mad. I've got it pulled up. All right, here we go.
Oh, no volume.
Hear it.
There we go.
Let me refresh it.
Honestly, it was Tom's stupidity which got me voted out. So is Tom really a genius?
No.
I picked two. I picked Bob the Drag Queen and Bob H.
You cheated.
The two Bobs.
I almost said Dylan. The problem with Dylan is he plays with his heart and not his head. He's smart enough to do it, but he can't separate emotion. Bob H would cut you.
Yeah, I agree. Bob the Drag Queen also.
Yeah,
I think he was just too cocky.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad they didn't ask us who we would want to be locked in the dungeon with. That could get you in trouble. Tom.
Oh, that too.
He would just talk too much.
Yeah, Tom would be a lot. Danielle is also a lot.
Yeah. Well, you were locked in a turret with her first, so.
Pretty much was.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom. Love you, Tom, but too many theories.
Sounds a little bitter.
Oh, we're the same. We're the same. So I was never concerned about the banishment, but with Big Brother, that's the only thing you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about the secret murder, and that's just something you can't game for. That's the added layer to this game that Big Brother doesn't have that makes it more difficult.
There's 23 people to deal with. I was mentally exhausted at the end of the day.
100%. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Everyone has a strong opinion. Nobody wants to back down. Everyone wants their moment. I felt it was hard to control people to get them to vote the same way.
Yeah.
We say the same
So
thing.
easy, dude.
All right, go.
All right, it's Tom.
I will say this about Tom. I don't think he's as bad of a guy as he's conveyed in the media. But he's a very gullible guy, and he's not cut out for this game.
Honestly, it was Tom's stupidity which got me voted out. So is Tom really a genius? I don't think
Tom
so.
Sandoval defeated the great Boston Rob.
Oh my gosh.
He's not very he seems like he's gullible, but he's not really gullible. He plays it up for the cameras, ladies. Come on now.
Yep.
I know Sandoval too well.
Yes, Jandy, he was. And he did amazing. Rob got him out, though.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, he got out. Episode 6.
Mm.
Or episode 5. I don't know. Anyway, well, I think that is now it for us. And I guess everybody have a great day. We will get back with you on the game stuff and for another episode, a recap of the Traitors next weekend.
And be safe out there because I know it's snowing where I am, and I know California had some landslides and all of that. So be safe with this weather.
Tomorrow, so everybody stay safe, stay warm. And
I'll be out plowing with my boyfriend. So.
Oh my gosh, you stay warm too. Bye, everybody.
Well, I should be in Maine right now. You know.
Oh, that's right.
I should be in Maine.
Oh my
God. But the snow canceled my plans.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. Oh.
Well, there's always next year.
Right. Everybody have a great night. Bye.
Bye, guys.